Welcome, mentors, back to the 2016-2017 school year. These are your mentor updates. We're doing a virtual meeting. My name is LaDanya Stanley. Many of you already know me, and I will be guiding you through this presentation. First of all, I'd like to thank you for your service. Our program is a success because of all the hard work and effort you put into working with the newest members of the Valley View community. So let's start with our learning intentions and success criteria. The first thing we're going to do is identify the elements of your role as a mentor for this year. We're going to find resources, documents, and materials to use in that role. And at the end, I'll provide you with an additional link that was given or that will be given to new teachers as a resource in order to help them to navigate the websites and the information related to the program, which I think that you will find to be an extremely useful tool, and it'll also give you an additional clock hour. So at the end of this presentation, you can complete the new teacher presentation for an additional clock hour. The success criteria is that you will be able to show that you have met those objectives, those intentions, by being able to separate the responsibilities into categories. You'll be able to have your own copy of the Mentor Extra Hours pay sheet in your favorite location, whether that's your desktop or your file cabinet. And then you will also be able to add key dates to your calendar to assist your protege in making sure that they can register and find all those tools that they need in a timely fashion. Due to the type of questions on the Google link form, if you would like to open up an additional tab during this training and just have the two tabs available, we actually suggest that you do so at this time. The form is here. You can provide this link into your browser. You have two options. You can flip back and forth between tabs and answer the questions on the form as you're viewing the presentation, because keep in mind, you can always press pause on me and answer the questions, or you can listen to the whole presentation and then answer the questions at the end. It's up to you. Now we're going to talk about the roles that you'll play as a mentor this year. So, how do the changes in the district impact you as a mentor? First of all, if you notice in the Wordle, you'll see some important things that have been happening in this district in the past few years. For example, the visible learning trainings, the Danielson, the collaborative instruction. And out of all of those things, the biggest word is learning. Because in this entire process, everything is geared and structured towards student learning. And in order for the students to learn, we all must learn. So as the teachers learn, as the counselors learn, deans learn, SRTs, everyone has a role to play as we all increase our capacity and our professional growth. Then we will see those assessments that students take begin to demonstrate and show that growth in our professional practice. So don't think of this as a training of, or any type of training that's just going to show you what new thing is happening with the program itself, but think of this more as a way to show how you have upgraded as a professional. That instead of just saying that this is an explanation of changes to the mentoring and induction program, we can look at it as a way to view yourself as an updated mentor, a person who has uploaded new information regarding our district's newly adopted policies improved practices and the beliefs that we have sustained over these past 5 years, all of which will increase your capacity as both an educator and a mentor of educators. I found this image on Pinterest, and I felt it would help me to elaborate on your role as mentor in comparison with the other roles you will hear about this school year, such as instructional coaches and reflective coaches. If you take a look at the slide, the first word I want you to note is the word mentor. That is your role. But notice that it is beside and aligned with the word coach. That means that those roles are not working independently completely from each other, and they are also aligned. They're at the same level of importance. Okay, so it's not like the reflective coaches and instructional coaches have a more important role than the mentor. Actually, we have an aligned role where we need to work together in order to accomplish our goals. To bring that point a little bit closer to home, take a look at the definitions of those words. Mentor, someone who teaches or gives help and advice to a less experienced and often younger, sometimes not, person. That's your role. So for our new Valley View School District family members, you will be providing them help and advice. And you will be doing this by using coaching questions. Some of the same exact strategies that a coach would use will be the things that you use in order to ensure that our newest members are adjusting not only to our culture as a district, but to the many things that we have implemented and that we ourselves as educators are becoming more familiar with. So mentors and coaches work hand in hand to ensure that we are motivating, leading by example, and inspiring our older teachers, meaning they've been in the district for a while, or they have been in education for a while, they've been certified for years. And also, as a mentor, you specifically will be working with the teachers who have not been in the district. But those roles will all do those things at the top of this framework. How will we accomplish this? Well, you will be working with that teacher, that educator, that counselor, whatever your role is. If it's a social worker, a mentor of a social worker, you're going to work with that person's vision of what they would like to become as that. So, for example, if they would like to become a better social worker and they look at their rubric and they see something that they can work on as it relates to getting a good footing in the district and helping our specific district to improve in an area, that's their vision. And it is up to us as mentors and coaches to help them to fulfill their vision. And in doing so, we're going to find that we're working together, we're using teamwork. And overall, the most important thing is that the students will win. We're all working together. They will get the benefit of our collaborative efforts. I want you to take a moment. You can pause the video and take a look at an article called The Secret to Great Coaching. This article, this is the cover of the article. There are several questions on the survey or on the evaluation tool after this presentation that relate to the coaching article. So if you would like to pause, you can go ahead and take a moment and read the article and come back. Our program goals for the year are assisting new Teaching personnel becoming effective, reflective practitioners in that line. The most important word is reflective. As we lead by example and become more reflective practitioners, we will help our new teaching personnel, our new educators, to determine their weaknesses, their strengths, and their opportunities for growth by reflecting on their practice. We will be providing orientation, we will provide support, we will provide websites, tools, we even will provide guest teachers so that our new teachers can have the time and support that they need to hone in on those skills from veteran teachers, and then to gain perspective by having a veteran teacher come and observe them. So these are the tools that we're using in order to make sure that they are given the support and the guidance that they need in order to become the reflective professionals that we expect here at Valley View. We grant ongoing professional development tailored to the needs of teachers. We are very hands-on. We look at your survey data. We will adjust according to the things that we have discovered or researched along the way. So prepare to just be open and receive some of these tools that will help us all become a more cohesive unit as it relates to student growth. And of course, we want to increase the retention rate of new teachers. We want to keep our good people. Here are the requirements of a year one protege. So these requirements have not changed very much from last year. New teachers are still required to attend new teacher orientation, except this year it is one full day rather than 3 days in the past few years. They will still have to take a classroom management course. They will have curriculum days based on their particular area or cohort, which we'll talk about momentarily. They will be required to meet with their principal for a building orientation. The meetings that they're required to attend are related to the building. There will be no more than 6 meetings per year that building administrators will call, especially as it relates to mentoring and induction, specifically to mentoring and induction. No more than 6 meetings at the building. There will be no more than 7 meetings cohort-wide across the district, all of the teachers in that one cohort. But the number of face-to-face meetings may vary. From your pre and post visitation conferences, that would be 2, excuse me, and then goal setting, goal checking, all of those meetings that you have to help this new teacher with the student learning objective, those do count. Please look at the pay sheet to document the specific time and date of the events that are on the pay sheet. For year ones, that would be a total of 7 hours paid. For year ones, they are required to observe a veteran teacher twice a year and have their peer coach or mentor observe them twice a year. So we try to do one of each per semester. So generally, the first one would be them going to observe a veteran teacher, and then the second of that first semester would be the peer coach coming in to see them, and then we repeat that process for the second semester. All teachers, all educators will be responsible for keeping their own reflections of those activities and of those meetings. And as a mentor, although I'm not required to complete a reflection, you as a professional and as a part of your domain 4 responsibilities might want to keep track of those meetings and do reflections for yourself to see what is it that you learned about yourself as an educator, yourself as a mentor, yourself as a leader in the process of guiding your protege through some of the things that they had to do. So specifically, if we look in all these categories that year one proteges have to do, you as mentor only deal with the face-to-face meetings, which are related to the conferences and the goal checking and setting. So if you focus on that and can imagine the number of days that takes, that is what you're responsible for. For year twos, we have district trainings, meetings, except meetings total 4 hours. So your face-to-face meetings with your mentor, since there are only 2, you have an option. You have the option of option 1, which is to have one of each, one peer visitation and one observation. Option 2 is to have 2 observations. We have some year 2 proteges who would prefer to just go observe, or to just be observed, option 3. So discover with your protege which option that they would prefer. And that is what you would be responsible for: the face-to-face meetings, those pre and post conferences, and then option 1, option 2, or 3. For year 3 and 4 educators to the district, you have some special requirements. Most people will not be in year 3 and 4. Sometimes specialists are in 3 and 4, or individuals who have transferred to a new position that requires support due to new curriculum. In those cases, we will provide continued peer coaching support face-to-face, and curriculum directors can direct the protege to the specific meeting requirements that they may need. And also the administrator has input as to if a teacher would benefit from that additional support in the 3rd or 4th year. In that case, you would only be worrying about, or not worrying about, but using the 5 hours of peer coaching support as your role. Tenured teachers, the same thing. You would be looking at just the 5 hours of peer coaching with those tenured teachers as they try to attend some of the things that they need to get the new subject area, the new grade level, whatever is different about their job. These are the examples of the cohorts. This is by no means an exhaustive list of our cohorts. Some of our cohorts are very small because of the specialty required. In general, we have an EC cohort, which is separate from the rest of the district's cohort meetings because of the special requirements that they have. We have K5 cohorts that are broken down, as you can see in the blue box. We have 612 cohorts broken down into what you can see in the peach box. And then related service providers, those are RSP. Those would be your social workers, the psychologists, speech pathologists. At this point, you should be able to answer many of the questions on the Google form. The next slide will review this information just in case. So, as a year 1 protege, your peer coach will be responsible for observing you twice, arranging for you to observe a veteran teacher twice, and then having pre and post conferences regarding those observations and visitations. You would also, as a year 2 coach, be expected to do one of each or 2 of either. Conferences are to be held outside of contractual time, so before school or after school, and they are to be logged on the extra hour timesheet. As you're thinking about planning for your conferences, I want to bring your attention back to the article that you read about questioning, and this quote really hones in on the impact that the article was trying to affect. It says a powerful question alters all thinking and behaving that occurs afterwards. So as you're thinking of some of those critical questions that you want to have and discuss with your protege, remember that these questions are not just simple for the moment, but they're profession altering. Some questions can be so important and critical that it changes your entire perspective afterwards, and it changes the way that you see teaching and learning afterwards. So we want to come up with some of those very rich questions. So let's take a look at our learning intentions again. I think that we have identified the elements of our role as a mentor for this year. Now it is time for us to find the resources and documents and materials to use in our role. Take a look at, follow along with my mouse as I take you to the required documents. I'm starting a new tab. I want to show you how to get to the information that you need. So there are 3 ways to access this information. If you take a look at the link with the video that I gave to, or that will be given to new teachers, new educators, this will be elaborated upon, but because this is just the first half, the part for the coaches specifically, I will not elaborate on everything. However, I highly, highly recommend that you watch the second video and follow along just to be sure that you know where to go to get all of these tools and be able to model for your protege how to be proactive and resourceful in using what's been offered and given. So if you go to our website and go to departments, scrolling down to professional development, you will see that on the left side there is a tab specifically for mentoring and induction. This is the professional development staff homepage. Left side, mentoring and induction, click on the tab. Once you click on that tab, it will take you to the mentoring and induction homepage. Because this page is not going to change very much, you have updated information within the tabs, but this will always be our home base for mentoring and induction. Here's the tab for mentors. This is what you would use to find the resources that you need. Once you click on mentors, you'll see that the page doesn't look very different up here, but you did notice that VVSD Mentors is now here. You have an introduction to that page. You have mentor trainings where you can click here for the required trainings to sign up to see if there are any new trainings posted. This page is updated every week. So if you check again on a Monday, you will see any new courses or anything new that we have added. So come back and visit and see if there's something that we feel will benefit the mentors. Here is a link under Mentor Files and Resources, and it says click here to open the resources. If you click there, it will open them in a new tab so that you can still access the original page. Here you have many tools. You have the timesheets for both year one and year twos. You have guidebook questions, you have face to face coaching, you have a classroom seating chart that you can use, and conferencing sheets. Taking a look at this, if you want to find your mentor extra hours space sheet, save it to your favorite location. How would you do that? Well, we just showed you how to access the mentor page. You would also be able to access it from a protege page. But here you have the year one protege extra hours attendance report. You can print it out. You can download it. You can save it to your desktop, or you can save it to your Google Drive. However you choose to do it, it will be right there available for you when you are ready for it. Also, you have an option to download or save the year two protege sheet. Now, the extra hours attendance sheets have the items already in there. If you did not see your protege in September and it was a different date, by all means, cross off September, use the correct dates. These are the dates that we are trying to have everyone have an opportunity to get a guest teacher by that time. The other important thing you'll find on the mentoring induction site that is very important to you is the school mentoring websites. You take a look at where your protege is working and you go to that school's website. So for example, if they're working at Brooks Middle School, you would click on Brooks Middle School. It will take you to the Brooks Middle School Mentoring and Induction page. And on that page, the first thing you'll see is a little quick tutorial about how to complete the visitations. Not only do you have a tutorial on how do you complete the visitations with the process, but it also gives you frequently asked questions. So by all means, take your time and go through that. Scrolling down on the mentoring website of the school, you will see the dates of the visitations. So for 2016, 2017, September 13th will be the first day that a guest teacher is sent to Brooks Middle School. At that time, you will have to be able to sign up. We will not be able to send a guest teacher back a second time. So if you see that the date doesn't work out for you, please contact either Sol, Amy in professional development. We will work with you to try to arrange a different time, or to work with your building to see if they can arrange for you to use a teacher that they may have on another given day, or to see how we can work that out. We have specific days that we have selected based on the guest teacher pool and the days that everyone has across the district to use the same guest teacher. So please remember, when you are scheduling these times, that you go ahead and honor those meetings if you can. Try to avoid changing them. So even if you click on that right now, I'm signed in as something else, but you will be able to access those pages on those schools' websites. Okay, so now we have a couple other things. I wanted to show you the cohort meetings. If you click on the cohort meeting tab on that mentoring site, you will see the dates, and the dates are on there. If you are working at Brooks, obviously you are 612. So based on what you do there, you would look at what you do as a first year teacher, and then your dates are listed under there. As the links become available on Wisdomware, these will become active links so that you could click on there and your person can click on there, your protege, and register from this page. If not, they can also go to Wisdomware directly and type this date in to search for the actual event and register that way. So let's see how many forms we actually have looked at. There are the pre and post conference and observation forms in the mentor tab on the mentoring and induction website. These tools are all in the mentor section of the mentoring and induction website. You'll be able to find the pay sheets. To review those websites in depth, we created a tool for new educators. There is a video, and you have access to this video if you so choose to go through this and complete an evaluation for this video. You will be able to have a second hour for your clock hour. Here is the Google form that you were expected to complete for this first hour of training. Once you have finished this mentor updates evaluation, I will mail you a copy of the state eval, which will give you your evidence of completion form, and that will be for 1 clock hour. The last question on the form is, are you willing to view the program video that new hires will view and complete the survey? So if you would like to go through what your proteges will be looking at for that additional clock hour, then you can. It is not mandatory, and I would like to thank you for listening to this presentation. If you have any questions, email me or give me a call. I should be in anytime after July 25th.